All right. With a, excuse me, with a wish for all beings to be free, free of the contraction of held thought patterns and belief systems. Free of the automatic reactivity of learned and held emotional patterns, and free of distorted perception perceptions as a result of our confused thoughts and reactivity. I will always go for refuge to alive, vibrant, radiant, spacious awareness until awareness is ongoing, like the flow of a river. Enthused by wisdom and compassion, today in the presence of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of any lineage or time, or none, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all beings. As long as space remains, as long as being, may I manifest in such a way to ease and dispel the misery in the universe. Okay. As you all know by now, you are most free to say whatever refuge and bodhisattva intention is meaningful for you. What I do is meaningful for me. And over time, it has not lost that aliveness, richness for me. And always remember that in the end of that, where I say what my intention is, you don't have to say the same intention. Whatever your intention is, or whatever arisings may occur from the wave created by this particular, or many particular, maybe, arisings. It's just a wish of how you may arise, not you, how the arising may occur again. I think I would want to mention gravity again, because it's a lot like bodhisattva. In that, Lama Lena talks about this. We are totally aware of gravity. We count on it. We learn it when we're babies and we drop things out of our high chair and they always go down. And yet, how often do we think about gravity? It's basically, it goes without saying. We've learned that if we stick our foot out and lean forward, we can walk. Same on one level, I believe, with bodhisattva. I don't think we can lose bodhisattva any more than we can lose gravity or knowing, or lose, once we've spent time recognizing what doesn't go into words, none of this does, the spaciousness where all manifestation arises and dissolves. That knowing is deeply within us. If it were not, it would be something we acquired and we would lose. For instance, we probably won't lose gravity as a knowing in this life as long as we stay on Earth. If we were in a different environment where there was different, probably a word for that, degrees of gravity, or there was no gravity at all, we probably would lose that. Gravity is a come and go depending on our circumstances, right? As Lama Lena says, you cannot lose Buddha nature, which may be considered to be the dance of emptiness and compassion, though I'm not very big on the word. Compassion to me always seems to be, I have compassion for you, and that's not bodhisattva. Bodhisattva is a knowing, not a feeling. It's a knowing, not intellectually, of an interconnectedness of all life. There's a joke, my favorite joke. Some of us come in here chasing enlightenment or chasing the idea of a bodhisattva. The trouble is, if you achieve your goal, if your goal is realized, let me put it that way, who would notice? You have to have the separation of the eye looking at something, yes, to notice it. If that separation dissolves, okay, now I explained the joke. But so as hard as we strive to get something, if we get it, we won't know it. That just cracks me up. I don't know, just my nature. Not know it in the sense that we think of knowing. I suspect if you look through your life, there have been spontaneous moments of complete open-heartedness, but you would not have called it that. You would simply have responded in a certain situation or experienced something that was beyond the usual self-focus and self-protectiveness that we develop as humans. If we didn't develop it, we probably wouldn't have survived as a species. It's not bad, but I'll bet if you look through your life, there are moments when that dropped away. There's stories of mothers whose child had been trapped under something heavy like a car, and the mother lifts the car. That is not physically possible. And yet it happens. That's a pretty extreme example. There are moments when I'm willing to bet everybody here has had at least one. You may not remember it because, again, you didn't describe it to yourself until maybe afterwards. You went, wow, that was either a really dumb thing to do or wow, I can't believe I did that. I wonder if I can do it again. We get in there and muck with it. But I bet every one of you has had the experience and maybe not even noticed. So as we start Chenrezig, start it particularly today because I'm in the working with emotions retreat at Lama Lena's request. And I notice how hard it is for us to, particularly because of that, to just allow life to be as it is and to join as a part of that. We are that, but hey, it's not an easy thing to drop the covers in the clothing that we've put on to protect ourselves. Mostly we're not even aware of it. Even to sit and let some of that unravel, as it will if we're practicing, can be terrifying. Can feel as though, whoa, what's going on here? I can't survive this. I'm going to die. Or this isn't safe. All kinds of things can arise. Chenrezig, for me, and maybe for you, is a place, not a place, obviously, but is refuge where I can rest. This eye that's trying to protect itself can rest. Rest in, if you want to, on some days when we start it, rest in the embrace of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of any time. When we start, and we begin to allow the light rays to naturally radiate out into space, it is okay, depending on where you are. I don't recommend directing them, trying to think of 1,000 particular beings. If you can do it, okay, but that's not really the point. But on those days when you need refuge, when you're scared, since all beings through time and space are Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and that is where the light rays are going, to remind all beings who may have forgotten and allow the relaxation. On those days when you just don't have anything to give anybody, go ahead and let the rays touch all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And let those rays come back and fill you. Let this open how it opens without grasping. Not grasping at those Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they'll all run away. I don't think that energy is fond of being grasped. But check it out for yourself. If we do practice such as this, if it's one for you, we do it when it's really easy. We do it when things are okay. So that when, as Lama Lena says, the shit hits the fan, practice is right there. And we may naturally fall into it. Chenrezig is not a practice to get rid of feelings we don't like, to get rid of circumstances we don't like, to make everyone love each other. It's a practice to remind us that we are more than this single I we so often perceive and so often protect and so often focus on. Can remind us that we are also so much more. Okay. So in starting that, we can call up a memory, use our imagination. Perhaps something opens right this moment. Bodhicitta is always present. What keeps us from noticing? That you don't have to answer that. But there is no thing that would keep us other than our self-focus, our habit from resting right now in the embrace of life for life. Or there are no words to describe Bodhicitta. And with that, perhaps memory or imagination, thank you, darling. Or right here, right now. Allowing a visualization of a lotus, 1,000-petaled lotus made of light in our heart chakra. Your heart chakra is where you experience the feeling of openness, open-heartedness. You. Lots of people try to describe where it is. You notice. Some days there may not be a location. How wonderful. Then you won't have to try to put a lotus there. You can just rest in that. Or there may just be resting there. A lot of times we don't experience that. And there's sort of a warmth, at least for me, in where my heart is. Doesn't actually matter that we feel around and grab a location. If you're a visual person and it helps to visualize a lotus of 1,000 petals made of light. Feel free. If you are a sound person, you may sing whatever arises for you to sing. Traditionally, or say, traditionally it is the mantra of that open-heartedness, open-mindedness, lack of self-focus, lack of self-protectiveness. For a moment, we can say that together, particularly if you have not had what the Tibetans call the lung for it. It's a mantra that's been said probably mostly with the intention to allow the realization of Bodhicitta as it is for thousands of years. Well, hundreds at least, maybe thousands. So repeat after me, if you will, and feel the mantra. Feel the sound of the mantra as you say it. Om, ma, ni, pe, me, hong. If you have different pronunciation, that's fine. It's the essence of open-heartedness. Every single practice, including, believe it or not, the practice of feeling and experiencing the sound of the mantra. The vibration of sound through your body. Where does it start? Where does it end? The sound as you hear it and cannot determine whether your hearing of it is inside or outside. This extremely simple practice is a full teaching. That can haven't worked. Don't know what enlightenment is. I know it's not what we think it is. Isn't that amazing? A simple practice of sound and our attention and awareness within it as it, unlimited. The movement, perceived movement of sound, waves, if you want, points to exactly, nope, is a doorway to exactly the same no thing that all the fancy teachings, all the Dzogchen practice. Isn't that stunning? It's all within that sound. Wow. Every practice has the potential to open our heart mind into suchness. Anyway, I digress. As we rest into the memory, or we use our imagination, we're right here together right now. We experience a sensation that we might label love, but so much more than what we think of or remember or attach to as love. As you may choose to continue to say the mantra with a mala if you want. You are There's a word for it, escapes me, a touch person. Allow that vibration, that sense of vibration that comes into your body when you sing or say the mantra. As we start this, allow that vibration, just as we're going to allow the light rays. Okay, let's just go. Whatever you experience, and it's easily possible to experience all three of these senses. Perhaps there's possibility of taste and smell too, just not mine. And certainly yi, that sixth sense organ, has the sensation of feeling. We are in bodies. How happy that we can, through the senses, find a doorway. We don't have to transport ourselves out of our bodies. So as we start, traditionally we picture 3 petals in the middle of the 1,000-petaled lotus, 3 petals of different colors of light. And on each of the petals sits one of the seed syllables, one of the syllables of the mantra. 6 syllables. Om. I didn't finish, did I? We only did one. Om. Ma. Ni. Pe. Me. Hung. Om. Mani. Pe me. Hung. Those 6 colored petals in the middle start to turn. And as they turn, representing all light, the colors start to merge together and become a white light, luminous, not sharp like a spotlight, but warm, full of the natural movement of light, never static, always wave. And as you say the mantra, as those 6 inner petals turn, become that white light, they naturally extend until they are rays of the white light. Rays carrying the sound of the mantra, the movement, the vibration of all life, all light, all sound, gliding together, never separate, out into and beyond our universe, as far as your imagination reaches. These rays of light can reach as they've filled the lotus. The 1,000 petals have extended into the rays of light, sound, vibration. No limit in time or space to where those rays radiate. Past lives, past, present, future. There is no limitation in what may occur. For all we know, the practice we do today, the rays of light, sound, vibration that come forth from our heart chakra, may be the very thing that creates or helps to create the form of Chenrezig to arise. No limitation in size. Rays can touch the smallest of what we perceive exists. Cells, microbes, quarks, and the biggest that we may not have any comprehension of or sight of because of its size. Can't perceive it. The rays may touch these. Dragons in the sky during thunderstorms, thunder and lightning storms. Why not? Unicorns. Why not? To the edge of the universe and beyond. There is no thing to stop the rays. The waves, the sound, the vibration. And as these 1,000 rays naturally radiate, vibrate, sound into the universe, touch 1,000 beings, and allow their hearts, their lotus, to relax, being held in the web of these 1,000 rays of light. And the same thing may occur for them. Till we have 1,000 rays, radiant light. Some returning, touching our heart chakra, interconnecting. Not interconnecting with personalities. Those are creations that come and go. Interconnecting with the true essence of all life. And onward for each of those 1,000 beings that were touched. 1,000 rays arise, radiate out into the universe, touching 1,000 beings. As you sit with this on your own, and can go in your own time, your own way. You may want to rest right here. On a hard day when you have nothing to give to anybody, we all have them. You may have wished those 1,000 rays to touch Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And the rays from their heart will come back and fill yours. Not so you can do anything, so you can relax held in the limitless, boundless open-heartedness, open-mindedness, joy, love. No words will touch it. Of the essence of all life. Some of us will perceive this as a web of interconnected light, touching and being touched. Perhaps like a spider web where intersections, the little nodes at the intersection, we may experience as the I that we perceive as independent, individual. And we might laugh. All the interaction of life with life. In this practice, life as it really is, can you imagine if in an instant all the self-focus and self-protectiveness that we all live with were to drop away from all beings who recognized each other? Oh, not just the human. We actually noticed freshly the life dancing all around us, not separate in any way. Refuge. And within any refuge may come a sense of a heart breaking open, knowing how we hold ourselves away from this refuge, all of us, all beings, because we want to survive. Not wrong. Not wrong. In any of our interaction, in any of our practice, there is no need to deny the confusion of almost all of us in this desire to hold our form without realizing the interconnectedness of all life. Always moving, always changing, utterly impermanent. We were unable to recognize refuge, this particular aspect of refuge, Nirmanakaya is called. Real Nirmanakaya, not the image of individual manifestations, but the joy of manifestations arising in every possible color, shape, form, just so very confused that we can't see. We may be different colors of the rainbow in any given moment, not static. We're never separate from the rainbow. Another analogy is waves in the ocean, not possibly separate from the ocean. Refuge. As we continue and allow the light rays, the sound, the vibration of 1,000 beings. Rays touching 1,000 beings. You do this on your own if you choose to. Allow the time without trying to get through the practice. Allow the time to let it open as it does for you freshly each time. And onward with this intersecting sound, vibration, light, until there are an infinite number of rays full of light, touch, vibration, sound, touching an infinite number of beings until there is no thing but warm, vibrant, radiant light. Alive, vibrant awareness. That's called Sambhogakaya. So hard for many of us in the West to experience. Where termas arise. Omniscience. What, you think you're going to become omniscient? If you have the happy circumstance of falling completely into light, as light, sound, vibration, you will not notice. There is no describer because there is no thing to describe. And yet there is awareness, open, alive awareness. experience, for most of us, the I we perceive will jump out. But not to worry. If you happen to fall in, wrong words, best I have, something will get your attention. You are not separate from your form in that minute or time. Your awareness is simply open in a different way. What a refuge. We may have different experiences as we grab our phone back, which we all will. Come on, you'll have to pee, you'll be hungry, somebody will yell at you. Who knows? Phone will ring, life happens. You may experience a grabbing back at that phone. You may experience a sensation of putting yourself back together again. If you have the opportunity to, the words are not great, come back out slowly. You can almost feel like you're putting your clothes on. And that's when the description of what happened will occur. What happened there? And our describer will jump right back up. Not wrong. Whatever experience you, words, whatever experience may arise as open awareness, I can't hold on to that. I can't make that happen again. See the problem? And it may never be exactly, well, not may, it won't ever be exactly the same. Remember Lama Lena's favorite question from Lama Yeshe, Dukta Yeshe? So what do you think? Will your second moment of enlightenment be exactly the same as your first? What? You mean enlightenment isn't a static thing you get? Don't know. Find out for yourself. Well, so today, where is all that vibrant light, that open, lively, luminous, radiant? No words will describe it. It's not an it. Where is that occurring? This is fun for a moment. If we can, in a simple practice, even begin to release some of our hold on time and space. And for a moment, we can enjoy the sensation that perhaps our very practice today is part of what helped Chenrezig arise in form back in the time of a Buddha. Who knows? Time and space are not what we think they are. Where is that all occurring? Another aspect, never separate. Mind, not brain mind, not thinking, heart mind, open, beyond description. If I say open, spacious, it would imply that it's not tiny. There's no description. What is that quote from Lama Lena? There is no such thing as a describable reality. But many of us have had the experience from the teaching of resting in, give it whatever name you want, Harry, George, Dharmakaya, that aspect beyond time and space, beyond any kind of boundary or limitation, beyond concept, beyond duality. No reference point, no thing to hold on to. Refuge. For some, terrifying. For others, a wonderful hiding place. Alive, awareness, luminosity, again with the words, radiant light, potential of aliveness. None of the words go there. Permeates every aspect, every bit of that no thing of utterly open, non-dual spaciousness. From that very dance of alive awareness, in I don't like the word emptiness. It makes it sound like a void, like nothing. Not that. Not that. Empty of description, empty of duality, empty of any independent individual arising. We go on for an hour talking about what emptiness is, but why don't we just experience full of that light of luminosity from which all life, all manifestations arise as nothing other than that union. What can't be described. All form arises in every moment, freshly. although if you're like me, we have patterns. We arise again and again and again by habit, especially in every moment. Nothing to hold on to. No thing that has ever been, in a sense, born. No thing that will ever die. Form arises, form dissolves. Just have an image of all the swirl, what we perceive as movement. You can see it in the sky. All those darting, dancing bits, and you relax your vision and look at the sky. Don't look in the sun. And the sky itself is dancing with what, for everything we experience, looks like movement. Not limited to the sky. For a moment, can we together rest into those little bits of movement, even though we cannot find anything that we can hold on to in that movement, that we can say, well, this exists. That follows science, which I think is terrifically fun. What actually exists? What's moving? Does it matter? Is there some comfort in experiencing for a moment simply being an ever-changing, never static part of that infinite movement? Never separate from? Enough words. I'll leave you all right here. And the dedication takes care of itself. You don't have to pull out. Say a few words because I'm supposed to. All beings have such experiences of unlimited, unbound freedom, if you will. The words touch. thank you all for being here. Till next time.